All right, in this video, we are going to finish up our Simon 2 game by resetting when we win and when we lose. We have to reset the game, which means we're setting ourselves up perfectly for another function because all of the things we need to do, all the variables we need to reset when we lose or win are basically all the same. The only difference of when we win or when we lose is if like the only difference is going to be which animation and sounds that we play, right? So we can do that. We can totally handle that in a function. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and check that. Let's go ahead and put it here. So if the player position is equal to, when we press A and B, if the player position is equal to random nums get value at score, then we got the answer right, which is what all this is. This if statement is only for increasing the level. So we don't want the else to go here. We want it to go on the outside one. And this is basically when we lost. And when we lose, well, we're going to want to show a sad animation, which I like the lava-y type animation for that. This isn't going to, the delay for this isn't going to be our regular delay variable. I like 2 seconds for this. I feel like that's a really good amount of time to take a pause for. So we'll do that. And then we have to play our losing sound, right? That's that wah, wah, wah. And well, first let's just see if that works. So green was lit, but I'm just going to press A, B right here. We have to put the sound above the animation. I forgot about that because that 2000, the 2 seconds is its own sort of pause. So let's try that now. Much better. Okay. So it doesn't reset the game. We didn't handle that yet, but we did get this to lose, right? So wonderful. All right, now we're going to reset. So let's create a function called reset. And this is where we're going to handle resetting all of the variables and getting the game to start again. So in reset, what do we need to reset? Well, level, score, player position, anything else? When we shuffle the game's all the numbers, we need to empty the array out here. I forget if I said that in the first video now. I recorded this the end way after when I started, so I forget if I mentioned this in the first video, but we need to empty the random nums array because if not, we're just going to be adding more and more numbers to it, but we only ever reference the first set of numbers. So the first 10, 0 to 9. So we can't have more just being added to it. So let's also set not sorted nums, but random nums to an empty array. Completely delete the random numbers that were set in there before we shuffle them again. All right, then maybe we delay. And clear would be really good too. Let's clear everything out. And then set player position back to, or not player position, sorry, player ready. I don't even have player ready here. I should. Player ready to 0. And let's set player ready to 0 here. All right. Let's try that. This should only work if we lose. So actually, let's do the first level, and then we'll mess up the second level. So here, then. Oh, it would be nice if I called the function, you know, where I actually tried to call it. That'd be nice. All right, so that pause actually wasn't long enough. Let's do 3,500, 3.5 seconds. Very good. It's also delay, maybe a little longer than our standard delay variable. Let's do 2 seconds there as well. That way the player has a little bit of time to think between levels. Very good. I like that. All right, I think our reset function is done. Now, if we wanted to, we could add in parameters for this so that our reset function has the it has the animation for if we lost or if we won in it. And you know what? Let's leave this here. We'll revisit that. So if we win, let's do if we win first, and then, you know, maybe I'll pull the winning and losing animations into here. Yeah, maybe. All right. So if score is greater than level, then we do this. But what if level is like, how do we say if we beat the level? Like we beat all the levels actually. So first, let's put this off to the side and say what we would need to do, right? We would need to basically do everything that we did here, except we would want to play some happy stuff. So rainbow, and instead of wah, 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 and instead of just like a regular sound, because bading is a little too short, let's actually do a little melody. I found in the gallery that Hopeful was really nice. I like that. The only problem is that with this code, and I guess we could actually see it once it's done. So that, and then reset. Okay. So how do we know if we won, right? So if score is greater than the level, we know we beat the level. But how do we know when we beat the entire game? Well, on the very last level, right, which would be all the way over here, right, we're going to have to light up 2 and then 8 and then 9 and then 3 and then 1 and then 7 and then 6 and I'm sorry, 7, 4, then 6, then 0, then 5. And then we beat it, right? So in that case, level would be what? Well, level 0 is 2, right? 1 is, so basically we're following index here. So level would be 9. And when we beat that, level then goes to 10, which means that now level is equal to 10. So we could say if level is ever equal to 10, then we won, right? We could put that. So put it there. Say if level is ever equal to 10. But we have something that's even better than this, right? Because if level is ever equal to, what if we wanted to change the game? What if we wanted more levels, less levels, whatever, right? Well, 10 is also the length of our array of random nums, because, you know, we have 0 to 9, but the length of the array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can just say if level is ever equal to length of the array random nums, then we won. This also will make it very easy for us to do some debugging in a moment, because what we're going to do is we're going to decrease how many items are in the random nums array so we could beat this game without having to actually beat the game. Believe it or not, I can code Simon, but I'm actually not very good at it. So yeah. So let's go ahead and put this. Where should this be, right? So probably when we check if we beat the level, we'll do all of this, and then we can do the rest. So let's put this, if score is greater than level, we can put that right there. And then if we hit reset, we actually won't even do all the rest of this stuff anyway. All right, let's see if that works. But before we see if that works, let's decrease the game's levels. So we'll only have 2 levels in here, 0 and 1. Okay, so that actually never happened. So if score is greater than level is ever... Okay, so we're going to have to do this after, actually, I believe. Let's put it right there. Let's try that now. All right, so we won. We played our music. We played our animation. And yeah, the reason why I had to move that down, if I did that a little too fast, we have to actually, if score is greater than level, we still have to increase the level on that, that very last level to say that we have beaten it. So that's why we had to do that. But you'll notice that there was a problem there. It played the music all the way through, and then it played the animation. And it doesn't matter what order we put these in, because each note, right, it's pausing. This function has its own pause built in so that it doesn't play all these notes at the same time. And this has a pause in it. Let me mute this real quick. This has a pause in it so that it can play each frame of the animation without having to, without showing all the frames at the same time. So it's not like the order here matters. So instead, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to run in parallel on the sound. Now, let's see if that works. Unmute. Perfect. Okay. So now instead of changing these numbers back to put this back to having 9 levels or 10 levels, 0 to 9, let's do another variable here for game length, which I think I already have. So go ahead and create a variable, make it called game length. And before we shuffle, we will set game length to what we want. So game length will be 9 because we want 10 levels. So remember that has to be 1 minus whatever it is. And then we'll put game length there and in there. Remember that we can only have, well, we could have more than 9, but that would kind of break our game because we don't have more than don't have pixels labeled 10 and on. So for this game length can only be 9 or less. It can't be more. But we're going to fix that in a later video where we make a Simon game that is infinite, but that'll be a later video. All right. Now, reset for winning or reset for losing. Should we do that? How long is this video so far? Let's check that first. Yeah, I guess we could do that. So if you wanted the animation for winning and losing to go into the reset function, we could do that by just going ahead and making another variable. Maybe call this one win, lose. Right, win, lose. We could set win, lose to 0 at the beginning of the game. And then, you know, if this happens, if level is greater than length of array nums, then we can set that variable to 1. And if we lost, we can set it to -1. And then we can do a simple if statement, right? If else, if win, lose, logic, if win, lose is equal to 1, because that's what we won. Then we do the happy stuff. Else, we do the sad stuff. And then we do all the resetting. And let's set game length back to 1 so I can actually beat this and lose it without having to worry. So first let's lose. Oh, now I broke losing. Oh, I didn't break losing. We just never called that reset function in here. Because here we go. Calling it within itself. That's probably not a good idea. There we go. So first let's lose. And let's win. Perfect. In the reset, we should probably reset win, lose too. That'd be a good idea. Reset that to 0. Perfect. Okay. We have ourselves a game. That is all we need for the Simon 2 game. Let's set game length back to 9 before we finish. Let's not forget that so that it works. I can move my reset function back into the land of functions over here on the top left. That's a big one. And that's it. I hope, as always, that these videos have helped you learn a little bit more about arrays and functions. That really was the focus of all of this. And I hope you had fun making this game. I hope you have fun playing it. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.